We're live already?
Yes, you are, Charlie.
Oh, wake up.
Wilmington.
All right, here we go. See, I'm not all there. I just got it.
Well, we know you're not all there.
I just got,
Yeah,
dang, we are wide angle. Look at that.
Holy moly.
Wow. Dang, on.
That's
We got
the
people over here.
the wide
We got
angle
people over
lens.
there.
Let me get this
We
straightened
get
out.
10 people on this set tonight. There we go. Rick Morton's watching. Jerry Keplinger's watching.
How many times is Jerry watching?
Jerry's just watching once, but Rick's watching twice so
Oh,
far.
that's good.
We got
All right, I got you.
Uncle Punky here today. And we also have Brian Georges from the Clinton County Fair Board. Brian Georges racing, and he just told me he takes care of 30 horses out there. That's a lot of horses. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
They don't stop eating. We try. It's a busy time, but yeah, I appreciate you having me on, Charlie. The Fair Board appreciates it.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Glad to be here. You guys do a good thing for the community.
People want to know what's going on. And as you're talking to people today, talk to them or somebody like me, and I've been to the fair 1,000 years. So give them Rick's giving you a hard time. Rick Morton, definitely a wide angle shot there.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell him blame Facebook.
All right, it's Facebook's fault. So, real quick, the weather is looking good up until about next Tuesday. Then next Tuesday, it may start raining. The fair actually starts when?
Starts Saturday. It's the earliest. The way the calendar falls, the fair can start day after the 4th of July, and so we're the 5th, and we run 8 days, Saturday to Saturday, and got a lot of exciting things going on this year at the fair, and some new things and some new sponsors, and we're just pretty excited to keep this tradition going. The fair's been going here in Wilmington since 1883, and
Wow.
It's a big job. We have a lot of I think last count somewhere close to 200 volunteers that make the fair possible, and it's just the preparation starts way back, and really it will start right back up for the Fair Board, the Ag Society, right after the fair ends. We'll start planning for 26. So it's something that's important to the community, I think, and we want to keep that tradition going the best we can.
Well, sure. If somebody does want to volunteer, how would one do about that?
Oh, well, you can come see us at the office. They're there 3 days a week most of the year. This time of the year, they're there all the time. But there's so many ways you can get involved, from sponsorships to, actually just, not on the money side of things. We're always looking for good volunteers and good help to make that thing run the way it does. And so, yeah, stop out and see us at the fairgrounds sometime, and we'll put you to work.
Can barely hear you, as she says.
Let me see if I can.
But that or just scoot the camera up.
I don't think that's the problem. The problem is, let me adjust the volume on
We're
here.
trying to adjust the volume. Let us know if that's any better, Rita. Usually we have mics and stuff out here. But,
Right.
Facebook is not cooperating.
No.
So there we go. Now we're dancing around. There we go. There we go. All right, we're back. Is that better, Rita? Do I need to shout? You got your hearing aid? Those old hearing aids. So, starts the 5th and over to the 12th. Horse racing is Monday and Tuesday. And the only reason I bring it up first is because Campus Nation is going to be bringing the horse races. What time do the horse races start?
We're scheduled currently for 5 o'clock on Monday or Tuesday. The numbers at some of the other fairs have been really high, so we might have to move it up in the day because of daylight. We don't have any lights around the track, but as of now, we're shooting for 5 o'clock. It may be 3 or 4 depending on the number of entries that come in, and we're expecting a high number. So, but yeah, we're excited to have Campus Nation come in and broadcast. The OHHA, which is the kind of the horsemen's organization, they'll be broadcasting out there too. And we should have, we don't have the exact numbers yet, but we should have between 15 and 20 races each day. So it'll be kind of a big day out there on the horse side of things. And we got a lot of other things going on this week as well. So we'll kind of go through some of those as we go.
All right.
And
Jillian
Charlie,
Travis is...
I'm taking horse bets through my PayPal app. So
Actually,
you want to send me some money?
Actually, that's where we might go out Monday. Monday we might go out and, yeah, because you can bet, right?
That's right.
Oh, you can? I didn't even know that.
Well, that's, some people, really enjoy that part of it, and we certainly, if you to come out and have a little fun, and $2 might make that race a little more exciting to you, and have a little fun, maybe make a little money in the process.
Travis Joanne, he is a working machine. He is somewhere in Medina, up there working at a store. And I was trying to get
There's
him
no
over.
prison up there, is there?
I know. I told him, I said, there's going to be even donuts here, and that's still didn't entice him. JJ, you more welcome to join the panel over here with Jerry over there. You can be on Jerry's side of the table.
Yeah, and our lens is wide enough that you could sit right beside him. You could snuggle close.
Please, come on over.
Oh, the little schoolgirl over there. She's beside herself.
So Monday and Tuesday, Rita said she couldn't hear any better. Joanne, can you hear us okay or not? Let us know. Because if not, we could move the camera forward a little bit. That's
Yeah,
what the
and
mic's
actually
at.
it would give us a little tighter.
Yeah, a little better view.
Yeah.
So, but let us know.
All right, well,
Rita,
I can do
there's this
that.
thing on the side of your phone called the volume.
A volume button, yeah.
Try it. Try it. We'll see if this helps. Anyway.
We'll move it in closer.
There we go.
What she meant was she couldn't see you, Charlie.
She can see me and Jerry today. We didn't even plan this. We tie-dyed it out.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Oh, there we go. That looks better. That looks better.
Well, you're seeing yourself on the monitor, right?
Yes.
All right.
We're watching it move up. All right. So Monday, Tuesday, horse races start at 5. Tuesday probably at 5 also?
And like I said, it may change to 4 or 3 possibly, depending on the numbers. But,
So when's the latest guys can let you know, hey, we want to run our horse?
they have to enter 3 days ahead. So we'll have the entries will be closing for Monday on Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days out. And then on Saturday, the entries close for Tuesday's races.
Joanne says it's not great, but she can hear us. Here we go. No, but we can hear the static just fine.
Static?
Well, are you talking about us or are you talking about actual static?
The static you were giving JJ is what they can hear.
Oh, JJ brings us donuts.
Is that what they meant?
She's getting whipped.
What?
Is that what they
You
meant?
guys were giving her a lot of static there a while ago.
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe Holden says he can hear us now. Move it back. He says, move it
I
back.
can hear you now. Move it back. Joe, beat you. Tonight, Joe Holder and I and Uncle Punky, you coming?
Yeah.
Eagle Emperor, you gonna make it down to mine?
I'm working upstairs on the studio.
Okay.
Got to get it painted.
Jerry, you thinking about coming over?
I thought about it.
Jerry may come over tonight. We'll be at Fresh Pizza and Cream from 5:30 to 6:30 doing a little shit.
But how fresh is it, Charlie?
Oh my, it's really good. You ever ate there yet?
I've been there. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's
stuff.
good food. It is.
Well, I like the free pizza.
That's why I asked if you were coming. So you'll know tomorrow then who's all going to be in there.
Correct.
So they got to let you know on the 4th of July.
Yeah. That's how it falls this year. Yes, sir.
Okay. Speaking of 4th of July fireworks night, Washington Courthouse. You never see them. Y'all go see them. They're pretty good. Plus they put them with music and stuff. You listen to VNU. Music coincides with fireworks. So every night of the week, are you guys having a band play?
We have entertainment every night in the pavilion. Saturday, one thing I definitely wanted to make sure we got out there, a little bit of change because of the dates. We do not have rides on Saturday because of the 4th of July. So we've done something different this year. The board, we brought in a circus for the younger kids and older kids alike for that matter. And that runs all day Saturday. So
Circus.
There won't be any rides Saturday, but we do have the circus going on all day.
It's
And-
not us. No, just kidding.
And then the demo derby Saturday night at 7. So we've got, we still got a big day Saturday, even without the rides. But just the way that date falls with the ride company, with the 4th being the day before the fair starts, we had to do a little adjusting. But the rides will be up starting Sunday, the rest of the week. But on Saturday, that first day, that circus will be in town for that.
Oh, so circus needs the extra clowns.
You got it.
It's right there, right there.
Start here, huh? Yeah.
Right there. Well, yeah, Uncle Punky, he could wear his pickle out there.
And Charlie, the one thing is also, just on a kind of a general basis, we kept the admission at $10. We tried to keep it, we're at or below a lot of the other fairs around. We want to make it something where you can afford to come out and do it and see it and see the animals and livestock and all the other things we have going on. You can get a season pass for $30 for the week, and then also still offering that lunch pass. We've done that in the past where you can come in and pay and get lunch, and if you leave within the time frame, you have to get your lunch, get your money refunded. So that's a nice thing if you're working here in town and want to go out and get some fair food. We've offered that, and then like I said, we just want to try to keep it.
So you just come out, you gotta be out within an hour.
Yeah, I'd have to.
They time stamp you or something.
It's in the fair book, the exact times on that. I don't have it in front of me, but I know that's something that we've always offered, and a lot of people take advantage of it. And I think it's a good thing to get. If you just want to come out and eat and for lunch or what have you, you got that option as well. So.
Okay. Well, a lot of people, that's the main thing, especially when we get old. The main drive's the food. Richard Stifler, no wake up Wilmington today. That's what he said.
Where is he?
He just messaged me that. Oh, jeez. Let me respond to him. But, so tell us some of the bands that are coming.
Well, I know for sure that Wreaking Havoc's playing the final Saturday of the fair. They've got a really good following around here, and they're on the Saturday the 12th. So I know I kind of did that in reverse order, but if we start back on Sunday it's gospel night. Bible Baptist Church puts that on, and so that entertainment will be provided there by them. And then also that night we have rodeo. So we've got 2 things going on Sunday as far as our headlining entertainment. And then, you already kind of mentioned on Monday we have horse racing in the grandstand, which new sponsor this year, Bush Auto, is sponsoring the grandstand. So all the events there that take place in the grandstand are kind of sponsored by them. But on Monday we got the harness racing, but we also have Jacob William playing in the music pavilion. He's pretty local, came from Franklin, classic country southern rock. Type band. Then when you move on to Tuesday, we have one big event that we do for the community is Tuesday Senior and Veterans Night.
Woo! So, night or day?
Day, all day. You get in, you get free admission for veterans and seniors on Tuesday.
So how old do you have to be?
You know what?
Charlie, old.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check.
You qualify.
Yes, for you.
Yeah, look in the mirror, Charlie.
You guys all heard that. He says I qualify. So we got to tape proof. There we go. I'll have to cut that section out. That way when I go and try to get in free, they'll go, what do you mean? I said, Brian George is right here. He's on the fair
There you
board.
go.
He said I get in free.
They'll probably charge you double if you drop my
Yeah.
I can use that all week.
There you go.
You can make it work, I'm sure. But senior day that day, then we have the harness racing again on Tuesday, and then the band Tuesday night is called the Denim Deluxe Band. They are 90s country as well as some modern country. So that's on Tuesday. Then you switch over to Wednesday. You've got the band is called South of 69. It's a duet formed the last couple of years.
They're really good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
You know them?
Yeah, Leroy Crowley and Michael A.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Oh,
But
quit name dropping, Uncle Punky. Quit name dropping.
South of 69. They were all in a different band.
Yeah.
Is Mark Thomas playing in that band? too?
They went down to just.
It says Micah Aylis and Levi Fraley.
Yeah.
is
So
what-
just 2.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on their publicity thing that they put out. And all those bands, by the way, are 7 o'clock. That's when they start in the pavilion. And then we go on to Thursday. Thursday, the board's really excited about this year because we've partnered up with Tri-Health, and as you guys know, they just
Bought Clinton Memorial.
Clinton Memorial, and they really were quick to jump on board and help out with some sponsorship. And one of the things that they are doing is they're bringing in, they have a really good relationship with Local 12. So on Thursday, Bob Herzog and John Gum from the Grillin' with, I think the segment's called Grillin' with Local 12. They're coming to the fair and doing a live broadcast. They're putting it out from 3 to 6. So I'm not sure exactly when they're gonna, what they'll be doing, but they're coming to.
They're almost as big as you, Charlie.
Yeah, right.
In all ways.
And that's we get that exposure down, Cincinnati area on the TV, and I think that's going to be good for the fair. But Tri-Health was instrumental in that, and they're doing that on Thursday, which Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, our last 3 days of the fair, we have polls all 3 days, and those usually bring in big crowds, as you know. Also, I skipped over. There is another demo derby on Wednesday.
I was going to say demolition derbies are big.
Demo derby on first Saturday and Wednesday, and then tractor pulls Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we've got a good lineup, and then the rest of the bands, just to quickly go through them. On Thursday, we have Whiskey Lynn and Jake Dyer. They're a local duo. They play country. If I'm thinking correctly, I heard them at 10 Cap one night, and they were really good. Did a good job, and people seem to really enjoy them. So they're Thursday. A band called 8 Lives Left is on Friday. And it sounds like they're just a variety of rock music.
I heard their best song is Crash Fever.
Would make sense. Right?
You have to ask Uncle Punky. He knows everybody.
Yeah,
That's right.
and
And then I mentioned Wreaking Havoc, and I think
Everybody knows that.
Everybody around here is familiar with Wreaking Havoc.
They actually played at Samuel Walker's when I owned it.
Yeah. Wreaking Havoc's a little long in the tooth. They've been here a while.
Been here a
That's
while.
not bad.
They got a good following, and they're just, they do a great
And
job.
they're loud. Will they or the tractor pulls be louder? That's the question.
They'll be competing, and that's the NTPA night. So those are the big track. But yeah, that big, Thursday, we're looking. We haven't had anything like that recently. We're with some of the larger stations around or have been here, so we're pretty happy that's going to happen this year and get our name out there
For something good.
Yeah, for something good. Yeah, exactly.
You got a question? Yeah. What's your question? This is from the studio audience?
Who?
I don't see him on the schedule, so evidently not. Yeah, that's the 7 or the 8 that we have on the schedule. So
we do have a live studio audience today, don't we, Charlie?
Yes, we do have a live studio
At least
audience.
3 lives.
Yes. Yes. What'd you call him?
Me.
That was called Rick and half. That's all right.
Well, that wouldn't be.
And JJ purposely comes in at 8 o'clock just to tease us that she has 2 boxes of donuts over there.
3 boxes of
3
donuts,
boxes
Charlie.
of donuts and hasn't brought any of them over here yet.
Well,
What the heck?
there's no commercials, Charlie, so
No
you'll have to.
commercials either today.
Yeah.
Charlie's going to take a dead air break.
A dead air break, right?
Yeah.
You'll just have to wait till after the show,
Yeah,
Charlie.
I got it
You
covered.
got 2 hours.
I got it covered.
Oh, Uncle Punky's going to go over for. He's doing a donut
He's
run.
wanting donuts. Suppose you get some napkins too. What's your question, JJ?
During the tractor pulls on Saturday, what's the earliest I can get in input?
I'll see if I can run that. I'll run that. See if I can run that information down for you. I'm not on the infield committee, but I will see if I can find out when you can do that.
Oh, there's all of them. That's cool.
Drink chocolate ones, bring chocolate.
Then we'll
All right.
there's
The
apples.
napkins are there. We got some donuts, folks. Sorry. Oh, look at this. They're 4th of July donuts.
Well, of course.
Woohoo!
And speaking of the 4th of July, we won't be on the air tomorrow.
Yeah, no show tomorrow.
Monday will be the next show.
Richard Stifler, Wilmington Fair, keeps it affordable for everyone that's here.
Oh, so he finally found Wake Up Wilmington?
He's commenting. He's
Oh.
found us
Oh,
and
wow.
commenting.
Oh, now we can't shut him up, right?
No, he's all right. So, Brian just gave you a nice rundown of some of the entertainment that's going to be there, tractor pull, stuff like that. Tuesday, senior day. So what time? What's the hours of the fair?
I think the fair. I think I think gates open around 8 or 9. It's and I think 10 is closed. Everything shuts down at 10, I believe, on the midway. And you know, the other thing, of course, it goes without saying. And I'm sure everybody watching, everybody here, you know, the heart of the fair is the kids, the 4-H, and we've got events every day pertaining to them. And we've got, like, I want to say it's between Clover Buds and regular 4-H FFA. I think we're up near 1,000 kids, like 900 and some kids that do something at the fair. So
That's great.
It's an agricultural community, and we think that's why the fair is so important. And you know, every day there's something going on with the kids and 4-H, and that's, you know, that's really what we're there for. The rides are fun, the games are fun, the food's great, but you know, the kids are what it's all about. And you know, the hog show is always a huge draw. We have one of the most competitive swine shows in all of Ohio, and I think that takes place on Thursday, and that always draws in a big crowd too. So we're looking at Thursday. It's really just a huge day this year with Local 12 and the hog show, and you got the polls and all kind of stuff going on all day. So, you know, but the kids, you know, they make it happen, and they're out there exhibiting their projects, and you know, we encourage anybody to come out and
900 kids.
Yeah, I think it's like 700 some 4-H FFA members, and then Clover Buds is the program for kids pre-4-H age. I think it's 5 to 8, and I think we have 100 and some Clover Buds in Clinton County. So it's still a huge agricultural area and agricultural community, and anymore, you know, for the kids, it isn't like it used to be. You don't have to have a pig or a cow. They've got 4-H offers so many projects and
Sewing, art,
all kinds.
photography.
Anything they want to get into, they can pretty much take as a project, and you know, not spend a fortune and still be part of the fair and still be able to exhibit something and be a part of something. And so 4-H FFAs are integral parts of the community, I think.
Neil Rogers, are you gonna be at the fair?
It's good to see the fair here kind of picking up as we go, because fairs are dying.
Yeah.
They're dying. I mean, it's something that's not.
Well, yeah, I travel all over the state of Ohio with the horses, and to all these fairs, and you know, I know I'm biased. I'm on the board and grew up here, but you know, our fairgrounds, we just have the best staff out there, the maintenance, the office staff. Our fairgrounds is immaculate. Paul and Susie and Nate, our maintenance team. You know, I travel all over. I don't see any fair that's any cleaner, well kept than our fairgrounds, and that's a testament to those guys, because they do the work. They're there year round, putting the work in and making sure it looks good for the community. Because it's not just for the fair. We have stuff going on year round out there, and you know, we want to be a place where the community can come, be proud of, and have an area to gather. So, but yeah, it's really you know, important, I think, that we have that here and we keep it here.
Is there anything changed this year as far as like parking or the entrance or?
No, everything's pretty much the same. We've added a little bit of parking in different places where we've been able to clear some stuff out, but the main gates there on Nelson Avenue down over the hill, and you can still, you know, get in the other gates as well, but that's the main gate there, and everything's about status quo as far as that goes.
Vicki Kendall, this is my first year in 35 years I do not have a kid showing. Looking forward to just watching the hog show and not working it. How many people actually camp out there?
Oh geez, we're I don't have the exact number, but we have a ton of spots, and they're full. You know, we have for the empty spots, when they come open, there's usually like a little auction for the site, and people show up. They want, you know, it's important to them to have those good spots, and of course they're there all week with the kids and such, and it's every spot I believe is full. I'd have to get the number of exactly, but I mean it's probably 100 at least. I mean, you know, we have all the way back.
So what's it cost to camp out there?
I should have had this down, Charlie. I knew you were going to ask tough questions.
Well,
Oh yeah, that's Charlie.
Yeah,
Home with
hard-hitting-
tough questions.
Hard-hitting journalism.
That's right.
I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to misquote it. So,
Dude, these are softballs. I mean, just saying.
you ask me about a horse, I can tell you. Right now, I'm just kidding. But
You got any horses named Paul Revere?
no, nothing named Paul Revere. No,
do you have to have some kind of entry in the fair to get a heading start?
I don't believe so. No. But like I said, they are in demand. You know, and those things they're hard to come by. As far as getting a spot and everything, a lot of people been in their same spot. Like I don't know about Vicky, she commented, but I know a lot of people have kept them for decades.
Yep.
Same spot, they go every year, and
The Howards forever.
Oh, yeah, and we have a fall camp out as well that's been pretty well received, and we get a big response from the community on that to come in the fall with their campers and spend some weekends in October at the fair, at the fairgrounds, I should say, and the Ag Society puts on a bunch of events while that's going on, cookouts and such, and for the people that do it. So the camping is really blown up, and we're we're happy to have people there all week.
Yeah.
Jerry Temple here, you're watching about 25 times with my feed today.
I haven't changed a thing. I don't
Sean
mind it.
Poole, how you doing, Sean? Who's some of the vendors you personally can't wait to see that come back every year? And you gotta have that food or that product every year.
Yeah, you know that you can't go wrong with the old favorites, with the fries and the lemon shake-ups. And of course, we've had the same company. Curtis is a local one that has just they're there year in and year out, and they have a big Curtis concessions, and they do a great job. They're right there by the fair office, set up every year, same spot, and we appreciate their support. But I'm definitely a fried lemonade guy. I can't go wrong there. But my people, the guys that work for me, I hope they're not watching because they'll be critiquing everything I say. But they're always like, you're the food guy, because every fair we go to, it's like, you remember we're the one you liked last year, and I'm like, I don't forget good stuff. But we have so much stuff out there to offer, and I know she's got some new ones this year. Serena Vance takes care of a lot of that, and she's got a couple new vendors, and then she's got a lot of the old tried and true favorites. The last few years, I know that the noodle place has been super popular. They line up down there at the end of the Midway. That one's
Is that the same noodle place that is at the Corn Fest?
I don't know if it is.
Joe Holden likes that.
I don't think it is, but I know that it's they've lined up there. We had last year, I think for the first time, we picked up. I wish I could call the name of it, but it's right near the noodle place. It's local, Xenia. It's a farm, and they sell their own pork, their own sausage. And it was really popular. They had a good year last year. I think it was their first year, and so there's anything you want, it's out there. And
is the star of the fair going to be there this year? Then? Dean Thompson selling his turkey legs.
I don't think Dean, does he sell turkey legs?
Yeah.
Does he still?
Yeah, I think so. Dean Thompson selling turkey legs this year?
You don't know. You don't know if he's gonna be working in the candy farm. No, he might be working there. I know.
Well, Dean will be
He
there.
will be working.
Dean will be there.
Yeah, Dean will be there.
This going to the Clinton County Fair will come back Tuesday. It's a Senior Citizen Day. It's free. Now, do we have any bingo or anything like that? The avid gambler.
I don't think so. The horse racing will be the closest you can do for that. So come on out and enjoy that. But the thing is with the fair, and we've already hit on it, but there really is something for everybody. There's
Sounds
whatever
like.
you like. We'll have something out there that hopefully for a reasonable price where you can bring your family. You can get in. The other thing I wanted to really make sure I hit today is we've had just the response. We started maybe like 3 or 4 years ago a sponsorship program through the board, and the response from this community has just been you can't even hardly put it into words. They have helped us so much. We've picked up. I mentioned Bush earlier. Tri Health. We've had some with us from the start. They're all, I don't want to miss one, so I'm not going to mention them all. But if you go to our website or our Facebook page, you can find those sponsors. You'll see their names out there on the buildings, and the amount of money that this community's put forth to make this fair possible and make our job on the board easier. The thanks, I can't tell you how much we appreciate that, and it's nice to see a community come together and do something good, and they've helped us, and we certainly appreciate it. And you'll see their names out there on, like I said, on the buildings, and they'll be announced all week during the fair if they're out there. But I want to thank those people. Well, we got a little forum here to do that. I want to thank them because
Sure.
it's been crazy. Far exceeded what we imagined when we started that sponsorship program. It's went above and beyond.
Don Wells is watching. He says, happy 4th of July. Stephanie Morton, good morning, everybody. She is the cookie queen. She says, we can't hardly hear you, though.
I don't know what it is.
I think there's 14 right now. We just added a couple recently, and I think around 14 is the number.
Can you hear it?
We go on 3-year terms, 2 or 3 years. You have to run. There's a
Well, it probably
process
is
to it. You
because
buy
of the
membership.
expense.
You have to get a petition. Have other members of the Ag Society sign your petition, and then we have elections in the fall. So our year kind of runs, into the fall, and then we start fresh with new board members in the fall to get started preparing for the next year's fair. Okay. And I think there's 2 or 3 board members that are up for re-election every year. And of course, some people, get off the board. Others stay on. Like we've got some that Kevin Bogan. I don't want to put an exact number on it, but I think he's been on the board close to 40 years.
Wow.
And he still is out there every day and in the middle of helping out. And of course, we've got other people that just been on a few years. I think this might be my 8th or 9th year on the board. But we're always open to new members and of the Ag Society. You can get a membership for the Ag Society all week during the fair for the 2026 year. And if there's interest, we look for good people to be on the board. So if there's interest in being on the board or volunteering, like Charlie said earlier, we won't turn you away because it's a community thing, and we want to keep it that way. So if there's any questions about any of that, you can contact the office at any time, and we'll get you set up with what you need.
What you guys do for the fair, it's appreciated.
Well, it's one of those jobs that it's all volunteer. None of us, we're not looking to get paid. We don't want it. You're doing it for the community. I got on the board for a couple reasons. The horses obviously are one, because that's a year-round thing at the revenue maker for our society, because people are renting those stalls year-round. And then secondly, I've got kids that are getting ready to start showing myself, and I know so many people that do, and I just wanted to, and that's most of the people's motivation. They just want to help and get out there and make something happen for the fair. And we've got an outstanding group of people on that board right now. They work together well. Things get done, and it's been a pleasure to serve with them.
So if somebody wants to join the Agriculture Society, how much does that cost you?
I think it's $35, and you.
Does that get you into the fair?
It does. You're in the fair for free, and then you're entitled. Well, anybody can come to the fair board meetings regardless. It's open to the public. But
right.
But if you're a member of the Ag Society, there's some things like you get some special privileges on as far as you vote on any amendments to our bylaws. You come to those meetings. You can you get in free. You can also, with membership, if you choose to run for the board, you're eligible to do that if you have a membership. So yeah, they're available. You can get them for next year, starting at the end of the week of the fair. You can buy 2026 memberships
For $35.
I think it's 35.
Well, I mean, if the fair pass is 30, why not just go ahead and spend the extra 5?
Right.
Become a member.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Whether you're going to be active or not, it's just a good way to support it.
Yeah.
So how many members are just approximately?
I think we have around 100 Ag Society members.
So really, there should be more than that.
Yeah.
For $35.
Yeah.
I guess I never knew much about it, and that's why you're here today.
Well,
to let people know, what's up,
the one thing I did fail to mention, we have 2 honorees. We always do a business and a individual. And so Uptown Printing, which I think is
Right across the street.
here, they're our business honoree. They've done a lot of our stuff for us in the recent years, and we appreciate them. And we've got them up. And then Ruth Curtis, who's been involved with the baked goods and some other things at the fair for many, many years. She's our individual honoree this year. So those people will be recognized. Our opening ceremony takes place Saturday. I think it's 11 o'clock. And we honor those people. And then they also get another honor later in the week at one of the infield events. So that's on the schedule as well. So we appreciate them and their support, and they're getting a special recognition this year's fair honorees.
Cool. Now, does the Convention Visitors Bureau help much with this, or is it?
They have helped more with some. They do some, and they've helped more with some of the other events we've put on, and we've partnered up with them. Not as much of the fair, but they've still been involved with some of the things.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Because I know, they brought some bands out to the fairgrounds
Right.
for separate concerts before. I didn't know if that was. Is there anything like what else besides the fair? Is there anything else exciting coming to the fairgrounds that people would like to know about?
Well, we're always working on things, bringing things in. We have year-round availability for rentals. We have lots of weddings, we have lots of private events, and if anybody is interested in any of that, certainly stop and see us during the fair. Call the office, and we'll get you set up. Most of the buildings out there are available for rentals, so that stuff's going on year-round. As far as big events, one thing that's really trying to take hold, other than the Corn Festival, of course, that's another big one for our fairgrounds, and I think almost everybody knows about that by now. But the Farm to Bottle Festival is starting to grow and pick up. It was at the fairgrounds last year. They're coming back this year in September. That's been kind of like a thing the guy is trying to build up, and he's made some really good changes, I think, as he learns and grows his event. That's in September. I think after the Corn Festival, it comes in.
The next weekend. I think I'm involved in that this year. I think the guy called me once, booked me, and I've heard from him since. So
I've seen some stuff that he's put out, so I think everything's a go for that. And he, that's something that
he has something earlier too in Hillsboro. It's the same day as Travis's car show, August 16th. He's got. It's not called Farm to Bottle Festival, but there's another festival the same gentleman's putting on. So, but I don't know a lot about it. He's just putting on.
Yeah.
You know anything about that by chance?
No, I don't. He's been in our meetings about the Farm to Bottle, but that's about as far as he went with that. I didn't hear about anything else.
What do you know his name, Ralphie?
I thought I saw a post on Facebook this morning about Farm to Bottle. So
he puts a lot
he's
of stuff
active.
on social
He's
media.
active.
Yeah, he is. I'm pulling.
I should have heard. I thought I heard his name. Wait a minute, maybe this is it. Jamie Terry, is that it?
That does not ring a bell, but he's got all kind of stuff on his Facebook page and social media. That's the 12th and 13th of September at the fairgrounds, and camping is available there. Live music, food trucks. I think he's advertised, if I'm remembering right, some boxing and wrestling events this year.
You're supposed to have a car show and maybe a bike show, I think. So, but like I said, I talked to him the one time. I think Jamie Terry might be his name. I do have that number. You have his number?
No, I do.
We can compare them.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and I mentioned earlier the fall camp out. That's been a really nice event for the community in the fall. You can come in, set up your camper at the fairgrounds. I think it's 3 weekends in October that we offer that, and the price is very reasonable, and you get some special events with it. We've had bands in the past. We've had cookouts. We've had the different things for the kids. And that happens at the fairgrounds in October, and like I said, you can if anybody's interested in that, we have plenty of space still available for this year's fall camp out, and so that's been a good event for us at the fairgrounds, and but we're always looking. It's tough because as you guys know, everything costs so much these days to put on. So we try to be fiscally responsible, you know, on the board, and we try to bring in things that, you know, aren't going to be risky financially for the board, because you just
Sometimes you gotta jump out of that
sometimes
boat,
you got
brother.
to. Sometimes you
You
got
jump
to.
out and
But-
say, hey, let's bring in this band, and we lose our butts,
You know,
but we try.
some of the things that went really well for us over the years, and other things not. So we just, you know, we're trying to figure out what makes sense. We used to have the big tractor pull in June, and that kind of went by the wayside because we had several years where
They run till 3 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
we had-
I'd be ready to see your
we
butts
had
bundled over there. You know, think about that.
it was
Oh, he just noise. Oh, that's terrible.
yeah, and that, you know, we had just a terrible run of weather for that, where
Yeah.
it was getting canceled
Like
one
this
night.
year, yeah.
And it just didn't. It was something we liked putting on. It wasn't making sense after a while to keep doing it. So we just stuck with the pulls during the fair instead of having one. But you know, we're always looking for stuff out there.
Baseball card shows come
That's,
out there.
yeah, I was gonna say Ryan
I've been
Briggs.
out there the last 4 months doing it with him.
We get Ryan Briggs kind of put spearheads that, and it's been going once a month, I believe, on
Yeah.
Saturday, right? They're Clinton County Sports Memorabilia Show.
Yeah,
I stopped in
sports
there.
card.
He's had some good people. We had George Foster.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
David Fulcher was there one
Yeah.
time, and that's something that Ryan's trying to get going, and I hope it works out for him because we like having them there. You know, it's a nice thing to have out there. And anything like that, you know, if you've got something, community members, that you want to do at the fairgrounds, come see us, because the more the better, and we're always looking for
You guys
stuff.
don't barter anything.
You have to. That's above my pay grade, Charlie. You gotta ask somebody.
Well, I mean, Ryan, you know, is trying to do a good job out there, but it's not cheap.
No, and nothing is. We've tried to work with Ryan to make it, you know, because he's written that thing 12 times a year, and you know, every month, and we're trying to work with him to make it go well for him, and you know, and us still, you know, keep a viable fairgrounds, and you know, it just does. And I'm not trying to lose it. We're all in it, the whole community. You know, everything costs so much, and it's hard to keep. That's why I'm pretty proud that we've been able to keep our admission where it is for now. You know,
Now, we haven't talked about the most important part for some of these people, the rides. I know you said no rides on Saturday.
no rides on Saturday.
Because Sunday through the next Saturday, you run rides.
That's right.
And so, I mean, I know they do it different ways. How do you guys do it? Do you buy like a ride?
The armbands are $5, and you get unlimited. They get unlimited.
That's cheap.
Yeah,
That's very reasonable.
I think so, and I don't quote me on this, but I believe I heard the number somewhere between 12 and 15 rides will be available from our ride company, and we had made a change a couple years back to a different ride company, and the response has been pretty positive. Everybody seems to be pretty happy with the move we made and the rides that have been there, and everything seems to be, you know, well maintained, clean, and we've
No
had,
accidents.
knock on wood, but we've had very, very, very few complaints about the rides and the cost of those. It's people seem to be
So,
pretty satisfied.
is it, I know I'm gonna catch heck for this. Is it weight limits or is it age limits?
I think a lot of those things have height, you know,
Yeah.
requirements, and I you know,
Well, I didn't know, like, do old people get in there and ride the rides, or is it mainly young kids?
I mean, it's mainly young kids, but you know, you see a fair number of adults out there. There's definitely some rides that are geared more toward adults, and then they've got several that's geared towards kids. And
Yeah.
you know, my kids like to go out there and run wild for a couple hours and ride everything.
For $5.
Yeah, you can't beat the price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get a babysitter.
You know, we're all of us on the board. We've talked about it at meetings, and you know, obviously, if we up the price, maybe we would make a little bit more money. But we don't, you know, if we can stay functioning and stay responsible as a board fiscally and keep the fair running and keep people happy, that's our main goal.
Is there a family pass?
I don't believe so. I don't, not that I'm aware of on that. It's really the best deal, obviously, is especially if you're going to come 4 or 5 days, is the season pass. For $30, you know,
Can't
you
beat
get it
that.
every day, and you know, you break that down over 8 days. That's
Now what? What do you-
fairly cheap entertainment in today's world.
We got another question over
What you
here.
got, JJ?
Peanut gallery.
And to finish from your question from earlier, the answer I got about the infield is pretty much whenever you want to get there.
Do the kids have to have a grown up, 18 and over?
We have had that is something that changed in the last few years. We, you know, like a lot of society, we had to make some changes because safety and everybody's well-being is our number one concern. So there is a curfew policy, and I'd have to check the exact time of day when that kicks into effect, but we do have that in effect.
So yes, JJ, you'll have to bring an adult with you.
Jerry, you want to take that JJ to fair?
And I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the biggest groups that I have failed to mention is the sheriff's office. And I don't know if people know this or not.
They in jail right there.
They volunteer, you know, they volunteer their time.
Wow.
And
That's
we
nice.
have, Doug is actually a member of the sheriff, is Doug Estes. He's now a member of the Ag Society and the Fair Board. So we've we want a strong partnership with them because they do so much for us. And, you know, their presence out there,
It's important.
it is because, you know, whether we like it or not, the world we live in, you know, everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to go somewhere where they have a good time and feel safe doing it. And we want to provide that. And
Well,
we
we
couldn't
all
do it
remember.
without them. We just couldn't. So
We all remember when we were young, not everybody here was Mr. Innocent or Miss Innocent. So.
What are you talking about, Charlie?
I'm looking right at you
What's he
fellas,
talking
you know.
What's he talking about?
Huh? Oh, some people did.
No.
Yeah,
That's
some
what I'm
people.
So
You
JJ,
don't need metal detectors at front gates.
I don't think we're there yet.
yeah, let's hope not.
Don't forget to encourage people to show, what's this say, to come to the buyer's barn and pay it forward to the 4-H members. They work hard with the animals. We buy every year. The junior 4-H members are the reason for the fair, in my opinion. Absolutely.
I think she hit it on the head, and you know she's right. They've made it so easy for you to donate to a child with a project. A lot of that can be, you don't even have to come to the fair. A lot of it can be done online, or you know, a lot of the kids now are you know starting to line up things for their. She's right. We mentioned it earlier. The kids are the heart of the fair,
Right.
and that's what we're there for. And if you want to support a child that's got a project, those opportunities are out there, and we welcome.
So, but, you know, okay, here's just some confusion for somebody who's never involved in the fair, doesn't understand. Like when I go to the paper or whatever, I see, okay, grand market sheep bought by yada 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 yada, you know, like 10 different people. So basically, they're not buying a sheep or just donating.
No, that's
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens to the sheep then?
There's some different things. The projects, a lot of them do end up market animals.
Right,
You know,
I get that.
They're going to go to the market once their showing is over. So I believe some.
And
of
then
the-
they get the money from that too, or how's that work?
Yeah, they they get the donation of the buyers,
Right.
quote buyers. Like you said, this has evolved from even when I'm old too. They evolved from the time I was showing. We ran every hog, sheep, steer. You ran them through the ring, and they went through an auction process.
Right.
And the buyers sat out in the crowd, but even then, in essence, it was a donation. I mean,
Right.
but they did actually auction it off to the highest bidder, blah, blah, blah. Now it's done completely different. The kids come up, and it's all set up ahead of time. Like, you know, so many people donated to this kid, so many people donated. So it's all kind of done.
So there's no bidding? or
Not
anything like that?
exactly, yeah, no. And it is a donation to the kid for their hard work and their efforts. And it's kind of nice how they do it now because, you know, it was, and it's still this way to a point, but I think it's corrected at some. you had some kids that got a whole lot of stuff for their animal, and others that didn't. We have now, like, we have people usually at the end of the process that have come in and have donated and made sure every kid got X amount of dollars, so that somebody wasn't like
Slighted.
left out.
Well, and there are different amounts. Like, you know, ignorant speaking here, folks. I'll be honest. I mean, I would think like a bull would get more than a chicken. You know.
And it's really, you know, now the way they're doing it is it's just you get more for your market animal itself, obviously. But as far as the donation goes, it's pretty much the same, regardless of species. But yeah, you're right. Like for a pig, you know, I don't know what the hog market is today, but whatever you might get, let's say $200 for your hog at the market plus your donations. But you're obviously not going to get $200 for one chicken, but you're still going to get the same amount of donations depending on. You know, a lot of
donations are pretty much the same across the board.
That's right.
Whether it's a goat, sheep, pig.
And what you're talking about earlier, you know, a lot of these businesses will go in like on the Grand Champion, and there will be like a list of, let's say, 20 people or whatever, 20 businesses that go in.
I just didn't know.
That's where that, you know, they might all throw in, you know, $50 or 100. You know, there really is no. You can donate whatever you want to whatever kid you want, and the 4-H office and the fair board take care of that, and we get the money allocated out to the kids once everything's collected, and it's. I think it's a good system, you know. Like I said,
do you have to be like give so much to be mentioned?
I don't think so. I think all the buyers are recognized in some fashion.
Okay. No, again, this doesn't put you on the spot.
No.
I just literally don't know. It might be something somebody else wants to know too, how that works. Now, what about? Now that's just with livestock. Now, like the art projects and all the other stuff, none of that.
No, they don't.
You still have your grand champions,
right.
But it's not like they buy.
That's right.
Stuff.
Correct. You're exactly right.
Okay. But those people can go to now. How does somebody go to the state fair from the Clinton County Fair?
Well, I think you know you can do both, one, neither. You know, I think that you just kind of a lot of it is a choice on some of the species if you want to go or not.
What about not species? What about like art? And stuff like that?
they have judging ahead of time, and I think that I think they can do both still, like the same project here at the state fair, and then like I know as I am on the saddle horse committee, they have a show. Because those aren't market animals, obviously.
Right.
They have a show in June to qualify for the state fair. So the ones that get qualified in the horse show get to go on to Columbus for the.
So you can still enter your butter cow, Charlie, if that's what you were trying to get at.
No, I didn't know like if it was a process like in sports, like in high school where you have a tournament game where. Okay, if you win the fair here, you automatically go to state. I didn't know if there was anything like that.
No, I don't believe that. Some things there are. I know that there's like the top so many get to go to the state, but I think there's other projects that you go to state for, like the swine, some of the speed. Like you don't necessarily have to win here to go to the state fair.
You just take it.
Enter at the state.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the club.
Well, I think I think you can do both.
Yeah. If you're showing, you're showing.
I have no clue. I mean, do you have any clue? Have you ever heard?
A little bit. I get involved a little bit.
Did you used to do it?
No, I'm out there a lot, fed, checking scales and stuff.
Never entered your pickle? No pickle entry?
I got a good cucumber this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not what she said.
I think I mentioned earlier, but our fair, like the swine show, it's as tough and as competitive as anywhere. I mean, we have people spending lots of money and time to.
Swine is big.
It's huge here. The swine show has always been big, and it's always like one of the top ones in the state of Ohio as far as.
Travis O'Connor's involved in all that.
Yeah. What's one of the most odd projects somebody can take out there?
Oh gee, I mean, they're really
selling. I know.
If you go through the list of the stuff that 4-H offers, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, really about anything that you can, from artwork to vegetables to they've got like arts and crafts type projects, stuff where the kids build stuff. I mean, it is really
What
almost
about-
unlimited what you can take.
Like for adults, do they have any, and I'm being serious here, do they have anything like people that, you know, with all these new breweries and stuff coming up, do they have anything like that?
Like craft beers and stuff like that. That would be an interesting thing.
Yeah, that would be.
that might be.
Yeah.
And wines?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, that's
A breakfast beer, Charlie, from Wake Up Wilmington.
Well, no, there's a lot of people who do it. Go ahead.
No, do they do a trap and skeet thing?
I think they do. I believe so. I believe there's a 4-H club geared toward that in this county. So yeah, it's wide open, and they can find a project that fits the kids' need. You know,
I know
not
there's
every,
archery.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, not everybody can just have a hog or have a, but that other stuff doesn't matter where you live or what you do or what, you know, you can be a part of it and do those projects, and it's we have just a huge, you walk through the 4-H building out there, you'll see all those projects on display all week, and they're there for you to see. And I hope a lot of people know it, that they're there. So it's one of the reasons that I'm always glad to get on the fair board on a place like this where we can get that out there. But you know, you don't miss that stuff. Those kids put in time and work and effort, and it's
Well,
there.
a lot of those are in the front two buildings, aren't they? Like the sewing and the artwork.
You got the photography and that stuff. If you know, if you go down to the 4-H building, kind of the hoop looking barn, right in the middle of the fairgrounds, that's where a lot of the kids' other projects are displayed. Like some of the clothing that the kids have made, that's a big one.
Right.
Some of the other things that the kind of the different projects from the norm are in that 4-H.
Do you get a lot of vendors?
We've held pretty steady.
Not food, but
Yeah.
I mean other vendors.
You know, not as many as in the old days. I mean, I think is the quick answer to that. But we're holding in there. We've got several things that they put together under the grandstand. There's a few, and then there's some in those buildings that it's not like, you know, it used to be all the fairs you went to. You saw building after building full of vendors, and I don't know. I guess that's one of the things that's maybe changed with the times. The numbers of those aren't quite as much as what they used to be, but.
All this online.
Online,
stuff,
everything's
yeah.
digital, and that's okay, you know. But we kind of trying to change with it and make it work, and I think the people on our board have done a good job with that.
Vicky Kendall says it's harder to win the swine show at the Clinton County Fair than it is to win at the state.
Seriously, I wonder why that is.
I've heard people say that it's just as tough here as there. So we have a lot of people around here that are big into the genetics and and really the science. That the swine show's become a science. It's tough. I mean, the feeding regimens, the things they do to prepare these hogs and for that matter, lambs, goats, the things they do, it's incredible.
Even rabbits.
Yeah.
No, rabbits. Do they sell them to, or do they
No,
just keep them?
I don't think they sell them. I'm not positive on that, but I don't believe so.
But we do get better bacon, Charlie, from all the science.
Well, they do. You know, to your point, they're trying to breed the hogs leaner and, you know, more muscle, less fat. You know, the whole 9 yards. So it's a whole science, and you know, what you see out in the ring is, you know, the kid with the project one day, but they've put months into preparing for that one day. So it's a pretty cool project of the swine. But you know, all our animals barns are pretty full. We've got you know, with that many exhibitors, we've still got a really strong presence with the 4-H, and we wouldn't want it any other way as far as that goes.
So, not trying to run you off, but it is about 9 o'clock, just so you know. So if you want to stay a little while, you can. Is there anybody at home that has any last minute questions or last questions about the fair? We've learned a lot. We learned there's a lot of bands out there this week. We learned the horse racing's Monday and Tuesday. We learned that the rides are only $5. Cost $10. Now, is there a kid price to get in, or is it 10 for everybody?
I think it's 10.
It's 10 for
And
everybody.
I think 5 and under is free. I believe. I'll
Okay.
double check that before but I believe that it
It's
is.
a ride pass for $5. I mean, granted, yeah, you already paid your 10, but if you're going to go out there multiple days, just go ahead and get the $30 pass.
Absolutely.
You know, get the $30 pass, and that's cheap entertainment. You could get a $30 pass. Let's say there's 4 of you in the family. Yep, that's $120. But then you get 4 ride passes. It's another 20.
Cheaper than a vacay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 20 a day if you ride every day. But anyhow, I think it's going to be a lot cheaper as well Kings Island.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I was correct. 5 and under is free, and you know, you're exactly right. You know, you got a lot of other things. You got the animals. You got the for the kids. You can spend the day at the fair, and
Fair food's always nice, and we'll complain about that.
And if you think ahead and join the ag, next year,
$35.
that's for 26, that's 35, but there's some benefits that goes with that, so.
Well, your fair pass is in there.
Yeah.
And you know, before I go, I definitely, because that is my main area. The horses, just a couple quick things. You know, there's going to be lots of horses racing out here local. Some that from my barn, some from other stables that are out here. Where there's going to, we'll be running from, like I said, mid-afternoon till we'll probably get done close to dark and come out.
Somebody could be out there about 3.
We added last year. We added some special races. We had some support from a sponsor and from the state, and we added a couple races that kind of went away from Clinton County for a long time. They were very well received. We're also going to do a little tribute, I guess you would say. There was a young man from Circleville that was very tragically killed in a racing accident earlier this year, and he won lots of races here at our fair in previous years, and
What's his name?
his name is Hunter Myers, and we're going to do a race in his honor. There's some other memorials that people kind of do every year for people that were in the harness racing community in this area, and we do those every year for them. And it's just, it's cheap entertainment. If you want to come out and put $2 on something, sure, that's fine, but you don't have to. The animals they're athletes, and the horses are out there to.
So we're supposed to bet Brian George's racing all the way through?
Bet all you can afford to lose. That's how I think that. No, it's tough. Everybody wants to do the same thing, win, right? That's the goal when you're in that. And
so when you bet on these, is it better to bet across the board, win, or is it better? Because if you bet show, you still got 3 chances of it, right?
yeah, I mean your highest win percentage is to bet the show, but you're not going to make much.
You're not gonna make it.
You're lower risk, lower reward. But yeah, if you're just out there for fun,
Right.
I tell people just if you've never been to the races, just pick a name you like, or pick a one.
Bet 'em for show.
Yeah, if you see one out on the track that you think looks good, just,
Right.
it's sometimes that's as good as the people that actually think they know what they're doing when it comes to gambling, because you just never know. But it is a fun sport, and we're going to have, like I said, I think probably around 100 to 120 horses each day that'll be racing. And the more the better on the crowd, and if you can't make it out to the races, they're going to broadcast
Right,
on
watch it on Campus
and
Nation.
You can catch them there.
You can't bet on Campus Nation.
No.
Are there any 4-H groups that are in the horses up in that area that's like in the harness race?
We do actually have we have one young man. His name's Colton Burgess. He took a horse last year, a standardbred that he drove for the fair. He drove it around the track, and the judges watched him, and he had to go a certain time, and did a great job. And he's doing that again this year. That'll be on Tuesday. He'll be exhibiting his project during the races. So yeah, that's not very many counties offer that or have someone take advantage of that, but he has, and he's doing that again this year. So that'll be Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly on the time yet, but it'll probably be during between one of the later races of the day. He'll be exhibiting his project. So horse show, by the way, if you're interested in that, the riding horse show, quarter horses and such, that takes place on Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be the first Saturday and Sunday of the fair is the horse show, and then the races are Monday, Tuesday, and then I believe there's some roping one night, back at the horse arena, and
Is that the husband and wife competition?
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
but so we got, you know, if you're into horses and the kids want to see some horses, there's all different types that'll be exhibited starting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I believe Wednesday is the rodeo or the roping.
So what's some of the purses for races?
They'll go anywhere from the lowest one will be around $1,000, and then
That's for the winner or for the?
no, that's the total purse. The winner will go half of it. The highest one at our fair is generally in the $5,000 or $6,000 range, which the winner gets half of that.
Now, you have local sponsor that, or?
A lot of that money is comes from the state. As far as we get harness racing, when I say we, I mean the harness racing tracks, the fairs, they get money subsidized from the casinos actually.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, so
I had no clue, did you?
yeah,
I didn't know.
and
No.
you know, so a lot of it comes from that, and then people also pay to race entry fees,
Right.
and that goes in as part of the purse as well. So
Right.
that's where a lot of the money comes from. But yeah, it's, you know, it adds up because if you have 20 races and the average purse is $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of money there.
$100,000 a day that they're giving out, and not giving out, but they're racing for. So.
How can we, and you'll like this idea, how can you, not me, because I would do it, but Delaware, the Little Brown Jug, how can Clinton County Fairground get a marquee horse race like that, and once a year just have racing all day, to top it off with the Little Brown Jug, I don't know what they call it, Little Brown Pig, I don't know.
Now, I'll tell you that's such a unique event.
That's cool.
It is not matched anywhere in the world. So it would be like, you know, almost.
How much is at stake for that?
No, they race for about almost $1 million. They race for.
Wow, Little
Yeah.
Brown Jug.
And that's just in Delaware, Ohio, and it's a normal fair. I mean, it's a little bigger fair than Wilmington, but it started so far back in the tradition and the lore that goes with the Little Brown Jug. It would be, frankly, impossible to recreate. It's like a once in the world type event.
That's neat.
Yeah, I don't know, you know, how it started in Delaware. I don't know the history, but it's just, you know, they packed that fairgrounds 50,000 people for that race, and people are watching it all over the world, and it's to put it mildly, it would be impossible.
You have horses racing that, don't you?
I usually have horses race that day. I wish I had one.
You don't have one?
They are literally probably the best 10 to 15 3-year-old horses in the world are there that day.
Yeah.
And
Imagine
so,
the entry fee's not cheap either.
it's not cheap, but people are usually lined up to race in that because it's so prestigious and the money's good, and it's like akin to the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
It's almost impossible in the thoroughbreds, the horses they ride. It's almost impossible to get a horse good enough to race in the Kentucky Derby. It's almost impossible to get a horse good enough to race in the it's just. It's like every horseman's
What's
dream.
ESPN? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
on
mean, you know,
ESPN.
it's what you dream about. When you get in this business, you think about the races that if you were.
Have you had one close?
No, I'm not going to even stretch the truth. I have not had one close, and
One in the race before.
I've had one in the race before,
Well,
the race
that's
after,
close.
the
There you
race
go.
after. But the problem is, and I shouldn't even tell this, but the problem is, the Little Brown Jug was going for 500,000 or 600,000. The race I was in was going for 6,000.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference.
A
But
little difference.
it's fun to dream about. I have a good buddy of mine that's a driver.
And his name is?
Chris Page, and he grew up in Ohio, started driving horses, had the same dream a lot of us have, winning a race like that, and he actually pulled it off 2 years ago.
Oh,
So
good for
yeah,
him.
so he
Now, is Noble still right?
Dan Noble.
I thought there was an Eric Noble.
No, Dan Noble is
Dan Noble.
Chip was his dad, and Chip was like a legend in the sport in Ohio, and Danny's kind of taken up right where he left off. He's won an ungodly amount of races and wins a lot of big races. He's stabled out of Xenia, but chances are he'll send some horses over here for the fair. His son is actually starting to drive as well. So
What's his?
Colton, yeah. So,
What about Terry Richards? He involved in the horse racing?
well, Terry's brother Larry
Larry, yeah.
was a judge at Scioto, and he at the track Scioto Downs, and he
Yeah.
also he drove and trained back many years ago. But
Right.
now he's retired now even from judging. I run into Larry. I don't know if Terry's as much involved in it. I think he follows it some, but Larry, he's still involved. I still see him occasionally, but he's retired from.
That was Terry's nickname. Everybody used to call him Racehorse.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, he owned horses.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, but we love, guys, come out to the fair, whether it's the horse races or not the horse races, it's always a good time and a good event for the community. Hopefully the weather cooperates, and I certainly appreciate you.
Monday's looking good
Yeah.
right now. Tuesday might be like those late day showers maybe. You guys still running rain days?
We go to a point. I mean, if the lightning gets bad or if it gets too muddy, we have to stop only because the starting
Source of
day.
safety too.
Yeah, for sure. Drivers, horses, trainers, that's our number one concern. But we want to get them in, but we want to get them in.
Where does
safely.
the starting gate come from?
There's a guy in Farmersville, Ohio, that runs a company that goes.
Really?
He travels around to probably 70, 80 fairs, and he builds his own starting gates.
Yeah.
He's all over his gates are all over the world. He makes them, sells them.
Wow.
But he's out of
You never
Farmersville.
think of something like that.
I know. No.
So, but hey, I'm going to run, but I do appreciate everybody listening and watching, and I appreciate you guys having me on. And on behalf of the Fair Board, it's a big thanks to you guys, and anything you ever want to be involved
If you
with.
guys
at
ever
the
want
fair.
to invite us out to do a show out
Yeah.
there during the fair,
I
let
think
us
it's
know.
I think it's a great idea.
Let us know.
I think it's a great idea. We'll get you set up, and if you want to do it, we'll make it happen.
No, there you go.
All right.
So yeah, we may want to come out there one morning, but we want air conditioning.
We can set you up in the expo building, Charlie, and that way we won't have to worry about your health and safety.
In the rain, we want
Oh, it's not going to rain during the fair.
That would be fun though one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to do it, get a hold of me and we'll do it.
Okay.
We can do it this year, next year. We'll make it happen.
All right.
So,
Rick can make it happen.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
can do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Hey, you too. Yeah.
Appreciate it. That's Brian Georges from the Clinton County Fair, plus George's Racing. Betting the show all week. Right?
that'd be good.
How many fairs you guys race in?
That's my car.
Oh, I personally, I probably do 20,
20 fairs.
probably somewhere along
So
there.
look for him at your other county fairs as well.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll be getting
JJ, come on over.
I'm getting ready to eat.
So you can bring Edge with you.
I think not.
No, wait a minute. You're getting ready to eat donuts now?
Yeah.
You had those donuts in front of you the whole
I
hour.
was talking.
Yeah, what's new? Jerry, you're going to have to get your hearing aids tuned down.
Jacob said no. I'm gonna eat one donut, then I'll be over.
All right, show you one there that day.
All right.
All right. Is that good? Like long chop?
Now,
Yeah.
should we put JJ on the other side of Uncle Punky, away from
No,
Jerry?
no.
Okay. All right.
Weather next few days supposed to be good, folks.
Did you do any news?
No, that's what we're going to start the show.
Okay, start the show.
Jerry,
I'm
start
the
the show.
adopted son, by the way.
You what?
I'm the adopted son.
Oh, you're the adopted
Jerry
son?
or me?
Stepson.
Well, I know.
Aren't you a
Yeah,
stepson?
I could be.
You're a stepson. Yeah.
Jerry could be your adopted grandfather. How old are you?
58.
Oh, I know, you
Yeah.
too.
Too young?
Yeah.
Too young. Yeah.
Too old.
How old?
58.
58.
He's just a pup.
He could be your son.
He's just a puppy.
All right, so here we go. We got some news. The S&P and 500 and the NASDAQ. New record highs. A lot of that has to do with the Vietnam deal. Ooh, look at this. Pudding in that baby. Look at that.
Yeah, that's like the monkey, whatever.
Hey. So what? Tesla deliveries are slowing down.
There's better donuts over
Did you hear about that lawsuit against Tesla for the family? I guess the family is suing Tesla because of the death of one of their, like a son in one of those trucks, Tesla trucks.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
They thought they would sell 389,000 in the second quarter, but they only sold 384,000. They're getting more competition from Renault, Stellantis, and BYD, the China company.
Renault is still in business?
Yep. Even with the news, Tesla stock went up nearly 5%. So,
I thought it was called Renault.
Renault, well, I don't know. I always thought it was Renault.
You're trying to be fancy and be
I guess
Frenchy,
Renault, 'cause it
Frenchy
is
Charlie.
French. It is a French company.
I know it's a French company,
So
but
Renault would be better than Renault.
well, I think we pronounced it here in America Renault.
Well, that's because we're hillbillies.
Yeah.
It's Renault.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
You never know about Renault.
That's true, and I don't. It could be Renault. I don't know. Vietnam deal, American goods, no tariffs. Vietnamese imports are down from 40% to 20%. But there's no, the American goods we're paying, there's no tariffs on it. Goods traveling through Vietnam, though, from other countries are still subject to the 40%.
Because China and other countries are trying to get around our tariffs by sending them through another country.
Hey, thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Man, this heat wave, Sophia says, it's not hot today, is it? It's nice today.
It's air conditioned in here.
Yeah, I'm actually a little cold.
68 is what the temperature is set on, isn't it, Jerry?
33 jobs.
You bumped it up. Okay.
33,000 jobs were lost last month. 100,000 new were expected, but that didn't happen. P. Diddy is guilty.
Not on everything.
2 charges, but acquitted of the racketeering. He's guilty on transportation, engaged in prostitution.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It's just like being a pimp. He'll get off of that one.
You mean the charges, or you'll just get off?
But
Well, the racketeering carried a lifetime sentence, so he got out from under that.
Yeah.
But if you add up the other things that he was found guilty of, he could still be doing a considerable amount of.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a life sentence if he had to serve it completely out.
Well, just seeing that video and the way he treated that woman in the hall, he better get something. Of course, he's already served. You know, how long's he been in jail?
And not only that, but he's being held until he's sentenced. They're not letting him out.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he would be definitely a flight risk. Paramount, 60 Minutes, settling their lawsuit with
Trump?
because of the Kamala Harris interview they documented. Trump sued her butts.
Yeah, they doctored it.
$16 million to the Trump coffers.
Chump change.
Thank you, CBS, for your donation to the Republican Party. House, still no final vote on that big, beautiful bill.
Well, that's because the Democrats have been talking forever. It's just like they had in the Senate, they had the bill read in its entirety.
You know,
Then
I'm
they
a
turn-
Democrat. I'm even going to tell them, shut up. It's 4th of July. You know how we're going to vote? We know how you're going to vote. Cut to chase.
Well, it's the principle. The Democrats are
They're
trying to
idiots.
drag it out as long as they possibly can. I was watching Hakeem Jeffries this morning.
Yeah. He had a book he was reading out of.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sort of like, this is their,
Hand in the shovel.
they're just digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper and showing their colors. And the comments were not pleasant to them
No.
that I was seeing online.
No, they're dumb.
But they want to make sure that does not hit his desk by July 4th.
Well, and the other thing you got to remember
That's one
is
thing.
they want taxes to go back up.
Yeah, they want
Because
they want to steal
they'll
some
blame and they'll blame it on Trump. It was Trump. It was during the first Trump administration that all those taxes were reduced. So they want to see that reversed because that's their money anyway. We're taking their money.
Anybody listening from Kentucky, it is trying to get Thomas Massey out.
Yeah, he'll
And
go.
it's time to get
Mitch will be
Rand
going.
Paul.
Well, Mitch will be
Rand
going too.
Paul, Mitch McConnell. Kentucky, you are doing no service at all to your state right now.
I think they've got some good candidates,
Andy
substitutes.
Bashir might be your next president. He's probably the most common sense guy on the Democrat Party. And if that happens, then it's going to be bad because he will get swung to the left because he won't have the power to stand up to it.
Yeah,
Kohlberger, Brian Kohlberger, pleads guilty on all 5 counts. You may say, well, he only killed 4, but the other count was for breaking in and stealing. Yeah, burglary. So Brian Kohlberger, that's the Idaho guy that
should have
killed.
never gotten a plea deal.
Well, you know, they were talking about that.
They wanted to get it resolved.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Also, they said even if they put him on death row, it'd be 40 years before
Well,
they
you
kill
see,
him.
that's the problem. And there again, I'm a capital punishment guy. I'm sorry, but that always gets strung out too far, too long.
Send him,
40 years.
send him to Alligator Alley.
40 years. I mean, that's what they all do. Okay, guys, here you go. You get a chance. You get a chance to live.
Yeah,
You're free.
we're going to
Go.
turn you loose.
Go.
See if you can get there.
No,
Because
yeah.
alligators, boa constrictors, it'll be hard for you to make it.
Heard there's a red, white, and blue ash carnival event going on the 4th. Yeah, and that's usually pretty big.
Yeah, they have a
They
big one
usually have some
every
big
year.
bands there. I'm not sure who's there this year.
Yeah.
Tonight, the Fayette County Washington Courthouse fireworks is going on. Plus, we will be at 5:30 to 6:30 at Sabina. So there you go. You come eat at 5:30, 6:30 for at Fresh Pizza and Cream. Then go on over to Courthouse. But the fireworks don't start till 10. Usually. Yeah, I mean,
Well, they got to wait for it to
I'm
get
going
dark.
to bed then.
I probably, if I come over, I'll probably go from there down to see my grandson, see how he's doing.
There you go. Well, come over, 5:30, 6:30. Is he home? Grandson home? Good. Where's he at? Where's home?
They live down Paint Creek, just down below.
Oh, okay. Okay. Kevin Morton, what's Kevin Morton saying here? Oh, donuts. He's talking about the donuts, yes.
Oh,
JJ.
one of 3 boxes, Kevin.
Yeah. JJ knows how to treat us right.
Yeah.
Jolly Green Giant's happy today, I think. That's their own brand, Jolly Green Giant. Well, Del Monte is filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Yeah, Del Monte, all your canned vegetables and all that stuff, they're Chapter 11.
How can you file bankruptcy if you're a vegetable company and
They are.
canned vegetable company? That makes no sense.
Microsoft laying off more people as well.
Campbell will probably buy him out.
By the way, our word of the day is stave.
Stave.
Stave, yeah. Like
Like something off.
we're trying to, stave off. Yeah, we're trying to keep out of the way. Stave means to drive away. Let's get right to it. Is Steve coming in today?
As far as I know.
Birthdays, here we go. Well, I didn't know. I bet he doesn't.
Well, he may be texting me on the phone that is actually doing, but normally he's done that, and I've ignored him because I haven't seen it,
Right.
and he still comes in. So,
Christina Rager, her birthday today. Lynn Spaeth, her birthday. Betty Boisel, her birthday. Dan Gray, Bonnie Robinette, Cindy Butler, Ryan Fife, Christy Orchard, Laura Arendt, Tom Cross, or Tim Cross, I'm sorry. Michael Hearn. Michael Hearn is a guy from up northern Ohio that does the same stuff like Campus Nation, but he does it up there around Lima, Toledo, well, Lima, Pickle area. Amber Smith, Grant Peel, Wayne Leaf, and Angel Van Hoos. Happy birthday to all of you. What do you got?
I got one here today, Dave Michael.
Is that your brother?
Yes.
Brother Dave's birthday.
Henry Clark and Rita Howard was yesterday. Just
I got it.
yeah, good. Old co-worker.
we also need to emphasize about our change to YouTube beginning the 14th of July. If you go to the pinned post that we did, the notice on all the YouTube channels that we have, or all the Facebook channels that we have, we are going to be leaving Facebook on the 14th of July and strictly going with YouTube. So everybody needs to know that, and they need to follow, and they need to like, they need to subscribe, and they need to make sure they allow notifications so they'll be notified, just like with Facebook, when we're on the air, because we will no longer be going on Facebook simply because of all the problems we've had with their platform.
So, I'm not gonna repeat all that, we just heard Rick tell you on there. July 14th, we're going to YouTube. If you have trouble going to YouTube, or can't figure it out, feel free to text my wife. She'll be glad to walk you through it.
She got you straightened out. She got Jerry straightened out.
Rachel Hargrave, who's running for council this morning, on Facebook. So, July 14th, which is
A Monday.
a Monday, the 1 year anniversary, we're switching over.
Right. Yeah.
So, if you want to come in July 14th, feel free.
And we have all the links there so that you can follow the links to each of our pages. That's Wake Up Wilmington, the new Wake Up Washington Courthouse, which will be starting just as soon as hopefully Vinyl Coffee gets finished with their new location where we'd like to be broadcasting from. Let's Get Personal, the link is on there for that. Campus Nation, which we've been on YouTube exclusively for the last 15 plus years on Campus Nation, and we don't have any problems getting things set up for streams. Facebook is constantly changing their algorithms, and each time they do, it causes a lot of problem with software vendors that supply us with the software that we use to actually do the special stuff that we do on the streaming and allow us to run the commercials and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the reasons why yesterday's show, I think we didn't we actually streamed live, but it didn't save it to those pages. So there's just Facebook presents all kinds of problems, and they're a social media site. They're not a video sharing site like YouTube. That's why we're going to YouTube, because we're video. The video's better, the audio's better, YouTube is better.
Okay.
And you're back to something that was in the news I saw this morning. Waffle House dropped their 50 cents
That's right.
extra for eggs.
Yeah, we're back down to the regular egg price at Waffle House now.
I subscribed yesterday, however, to put a password on my phone. Thank God I wrote it down. Now I got to get it off my phone.
A
I
password?
do not like passwords on my phone.
I don't know what they're talking about as far as password.
Probably YouTube.
Take a guess how many eggs Waffle House serves
In what? A day, a week, a year?
in a year. No, that was a day across all the Waffle Houses.
How many Waffle Houses are there?
Well, Jerry, if you don't have the details, how are we supposed to figure this out?
I don't know, but it was
Come on, Jerry.
Yeah.
272 million.
At least Charlie gives us the details when he
Not
asks
necessarily.
these minutia
All
questions.
my questions I tried to. Where did you get? Hey, you told us 272 million a day?
Is that a game? Oh,
A day?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Now figure that times 50 cents.
Oh my.
That's a little bit of money.
136 million. A day.
Yeah. It's almost as much as you make in a year, Jerry.
All right, I hear somebody walking around.
Yes,
now.
it is our extra tall.
Oh, hey.
Sit down in front of the donuts, there, guy.
Wait a minute, donuts? I'd have been here earlier.
Hey,
We got 3 boxes of them, so if you don't like the ones there, you can always go over to the other
What
ones.
do we have here?
Donuts.
And where are we from? Kroger. I've heard of them. The French place.
Yes, it is.
Extraordinary.
Crochet. It's crochet. It's the alternative of Target.
it's
Oh, boy.
K. Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. It's Kenny Rogers Bakery. How's everyone?
Peachy.
Better with a donut.
Life is always better with a donut.
Okay, you're just in time for the
What am I?
celebrity aging gig.
Celebrity Celebrity, what?
Did you text me?
I did.
Oh, well, we're using that camera, so I didn't get, but I said it doesn't matter. Steve, he texts me ahead of time, then he still comes anyway.
We waited on you.
Well, you
Yeah.
had quite the delay. I just sat down on that.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump.
Celebrity
bump,
birthdays,
bump,
celebrity
bump,
birthdays.
bump,
Where's the microphones on celebrity
bump,
birthdays?
bump, bump, bump,
It's on the phone.
bump, bump.
We were just,
Tom Cruise's birthday.
63.
That's right, 63, yeah.
wait a minute.
Did you study beforehand?
No, I just happen to know that he's almost the same age as I am.
Oh,
And
Montel Williams.
Montel Williams, I'm going to go with, Montel ran into a spat of issues. He has, does he have ALS, MS?
He's got some.
Something with an S in it.
I think it's PMS. PMS.
Montel, I'm going to go with 73.
It's hot.
Why do you look at Jerry when you say 73? He's 74.
He looks 71.
Oh, yeah.
That's too low.
Not now.
Steve is sucking up to you, so you'll give him some donuts.
No, you need to.
Oh, they're patriotic. So what's too low?
63.
That's too low.
Montel Williams,
73 to 63.
69.
That's right.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Of course, it's
Gloria Allred.
That's not 69.
77, right? You get 81.
you're gonna choke him up.
Meanwhile, back at ranch.
Steve comes in, we go down the rabbit hole.
Gloria Allred.
We saved that for you, Steve.
You guys can guess too. Gloria Allred.
She is the attorney.
I'm going to go with 73.
Hi.
She,
84.
Ding, 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 ding. 84.
84 years old.
Lamar Alexander.
Owner
From
of the
Tennessee.
Kansas City
Kansas City
Chiefs.
Oh, that's Lamar Alexander, not
Yes.
your former
The
senator.
no. Kansas City Chiefs guy. I will guess 72.
Higher.
Oh.
I think you said it right. Say it again. 85?
Yep,
85. That's right.
exactly what I was.
That's what I thought he said. 85. All right. The next one is famous for singing the song about getting VD in his eye.
What?
Looking for love in all roads.
Oh, come on, Charlie.
Johnny Lee. How old is Johnny Lee?
83.
High, lower.
72.
Higher.
79.
79.
I've never heard the name Johnny Lee. I've heard the song.
Yep, Johnny Lee.
Did you know
What
about?
else? Does Johnny Lee have another hit?
Probably.
You know, when I was growing up, speaking of songs that
Details.
are inappropriate. Oh, you don't want my
No,
details?
it's all right.
I'm waiting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, finish your
I
thought.
wasn't allowed to listen to, for no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
Oh, Troy Rich.
We weren't allowed to listen to that song.
Who's you mean your family? You as
My
kids?
mom would turn off the radio if that song came on.
Well,
We
it's
could not
your
listen.
good Catholic upbringing. Isn't that
Very
right?
well.
Did you ever have to refer to what is it the thing they send out once a month or whatever, and it has because I dated a Catholic girl, and we had to sit down with her mom once a week if we were going to go to the movies, and she would list.
Oh, the Catholic Chronicle.
That's right. She would give us the list of the movies that we could see.
Oh, I forgot all about the movies that were approved.
That's right. We'd only go to Catholic approved movies.
Wow. So it was some Disney for you.
That's right.
Aaron.
Sorry.
Aaron.
Ooh, I like Aaron Tippin. Trying for,
He's been here, hasn't
no, I'm going to try again. 64.
he? Higher.
I'm going with 67.
You're going to be right.
There you go.
67.
Steve's on a hot streak.
Yeah,
Greg Vaughn used to play for the Cincinnati Reds.
yeah.
Is that a
We
statement?
lost Dave Parker, by the way.
Yes, Dave died.
Greg Vaughn.
57.
Higher.
64.
Bracketed.
I'm going with 60.
That's right.
60. Steve's on it today.
He is. He is.
You might want to think about that when it's time to play the other game.
Edison Volquez.
When you choose sides.
Another ex-Red, Edison Volquez, but he's younger.
Oh, we got a
52.
Younger.
49.
Younger.
46.
Younger.
42.
42, that's right.
49.
Paris Johnson, who just graduated a couple years ago from Ohio State University, receiver. Ohio State.
Is he playing in the NFL?
I don't know.
You should know.
Details.
Paris Johnson.
26.
I wouldn't have.
26 is too high.
Oh.
24.
24 is right.
I've never heard the name Paris Johnson, and I watch every Ohio State game.
Yeah, he's the receiver.
Oh.
But Ohio State has some good
That's
receivers.
true. You can play second string Ohio State.
Exactly.
And you're going to have a good program.
You can play on the club football team, and yeah.
All right, that's all I have for.
Celebrity birthdays.
Yep. Okay, so it's Chain Connection time. We
No,
got all kinds
wait.
of
Before
people.
we do that, Charlie, you need to do a Let's Get Personal commercial since we're not doing commercials because of our setup today, and because
He's done that just for you.
yeah,
You realize that.
this is Steve's claim to fame now.
Wow.
All right.
We may
What's that
have
say about
we
me?
may have him record our song when we do it. Okay, so Charlie, tell us about Let's Get Personal.
Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal, personal. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Sundays, fun days, 5 to 8 with your host, Dr. Footlong himself. In his own mind, Jeffrey Schusler.
No, he admits that he's
Is there any more chocolate over there?
Yes, there is.
there's all kinds of chocolate.
Go grab one.
JJ, bring him over.
No,
Come on, you can walk around.
I'm trying to play it.
Oh, you're transplanted.
Keep doing your commercials.
Plus, Sarah, play me like a piccolo fife. We'll be hosting Let's Get Personal Sundays 5 to 8. 5 to 8. And we're making Steve pay for his dinner.
Yeah. You missed all our stuff about the fair today. We had the fair board, someone from the fair board this morning. And Campus Nation's going to be doing live streaming of harness racing 2 days from the fair.
I need to come out. I need to come out on Monday and be your Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy the Geek.
That's right. You can give us the odds
give us
because you
that,
can bet
yeah.
on, but you can't bet through Campus Nation.
No, no,
Right.
no, no.
Hey, we got a concert here tonight.
Oh, we do?
Community band.
Oh,
That's right. The 4th of July, right?
Everybody's like,
Prelude to Fireworks. That's what it's called.
Prelude to Fireworks.
7 o'clock. Be here. Be here. Be here.
Then they're also playing tomorrow night at 9 or 8:30.
I don't know.
8:30. Okay, 8:30 tomorrow night.
So did you say you had a good turnout yesterday?
But before then, you'll be able to listen to Chaz's DJ service playing some summer and patriotic tunes from approximately 4:30 on. We'll be there playing music and eating some good food. Robo Pizza, you better have me a garlic cheese pizza tomorrow. That's all I got to say.
Did they ever get back to you? Still been ghosted.
They never got back to me.
Charlie's such an important
They
man
never
in
showed
town.
up. And we don't know what the deal is.
No, I sent them messages. They read them. That's been about it.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Those aren't bad.
Is that cherry, Philly?
I don't know.
Oh.
All right,
You know what you're eating?
so
Been there before.
you got lots of people you can pick from today. We got JJ, we got Rachel, we got Uncle Punky, we got Jerry. Who would you like for your partner to be?
We'll go with,
I'm fixing my shoe over here.
no, you know what? Someone else do the picking. I don't even need to be playing. I'll just eat.
No, you can play. All right, Uncle Punky, go ahead. You pick your choice.
Uncle Punky, you pick the people.
And don't shout out the right answer for the other team today, please.
Well, let's see.
I could sell the girls as a combo package.
There you
You
go.
ain't
There you go.
selling nothing over here.
Jerry. Jerry.
Oh.
All right. So
Oh.
Steve and the girls.
All right,
Fair enough?
works for me.
Steve
All
and
right.
the girls.
So it's 3 against 2.
Yes.
All right.
And Evil Emperor can assist either one.
I will give you all the wrong answers you need.
All right. So,
No, you have one.
ladies, would you like put that thing over? Ladies,
Watch what he does in my.
ladies,
See how he does.
would you like to go first or pick your comment?
No cheating. No cheating, huh?
They want to go first.
Oh, okay.
So, Uncle Punky, what column do you want, A or B?
Yes.
I'm going to guess
B.
that you want A.
I want to be.
Good guess, Charlie.
See?
I was trying. Steve and ladies, I was trying.
Oh, okay.
Column A, I did these last night in a hurry. No, I did them this morning in a hurry. Column A, I scored a 75.
Oh.
Column B, I scored a 90. So,
Very interesting.
you're going first with column A.
All right.
So Steve and the
Feel very
ladies,
good about
here we go.
this.
Space S.
Ship, shuttle, or shot?
Or suit.
I'm going to tell you what, one of those is correct.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
The very first thing that came out of the three of us was your shuttle. I'm good with that. You good with that?
Space shuttle is correct. Shuttle
We were on a roll.
Yes.
Some other rolls. I'm sorry, what?
Shuttle B.
Shuttle.
Bus.
Shuttle what?
Ooh.
Shuttle bus.
Shuttle bus?
Shuttle.
It's bacon.
Shuttle bacon?
I think it's bacon.
I'm good with bus.
Yeah, bacon's good.
Bus? Okay, bus is correct.
Ooh.
Bacon.
You guys might do better than I did on this. Bus P.
Pass.
Bus pass.
Bus pass.
That's right.
Ooh, they're
on the
on a
table.
run.
We've been eating brain food this
That's
morning.
right. Brain food. That's what
Got a
that
little
is.
glaze in it.
Sugar high.
Pass.
I'm going to be napping under the table in 10 minutes.
Passport.
Pass J.
Pass.
I think it's password.
Judgment. What do you think?
Junk. Could be junk.
We're going to go with judgment.
Past junk.
Judgment is right. We're kicking butt here.
It's not junk?
See where I screwed up on space? I put space C.
Oh, it wasn't space junk?
No.
No.
Okay.
What he says.
Judgment D.
Judgment Day.
All right, for the win.
Oh.
Well, for the possible win.
Yeah, because you can tie.
Yeah, you guys could.
We'll give you a chance to tie.
That's right.
Day J.
Day J.
Day
Day J.
job.
That's good.
That's what I would do.
That's good. Day job.
Day job.
They just ran the table.
Got it. Wow, this has been a great day. I come in, I get welcomed,
Donuts?
I eat these,
Yes.
we go undefeated.
Now, here we go. You guys got your
Shot.
chance. You got your chance. And like I said, I scored a 90 on yours. So I'm trying to think which
No
one
pressure,
I screwed
gentlemen.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss one, though.
And his was excluded, so.
All right. Diamond R.
Rough.
I would go with
Yeah.
Right.
Diamond ring?
raccoon.
Diamond ring
Raccoon.
is right.
Okay. Yeah.
Ring T.
Treble.
Ring tees. Ring tees?
T.
Tent.
Oh, no ring tees?
Toss.
It's their turn. You know what?
Ring.
Ring
Toast.
tone.
Ringtone is good.
Toast.
Huh?
Ring, what do you want? Ring
Toast.
toast.
That's what they want.
Ring toast.
No, they don't.
Can we go that one?
Yeah.
Okay, ring toe.
Ah! The
They
winners.
told you several times.
Toss.
Ring toss.
Oh, yeah, it's fair. It's fair week next week.
Toss you.
Toss
Go
up.
bus.
Toss up.
Toss up, yep, that's right.
Let's see what opens up.
Up, in,
Up what?
in.
Up.
Like Nancy.
Okay.
Up
Up.
Nancy.
Yeah.
I'm going to avoid this. You guys are having all kinds of problems this morning.
Nichols.
Up, in.
Nichols.
And away.
Now see, this one I got right away.
Up and
Yeah, I
away.
know this one, but I'm gonna go with Nichols anyway.
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with but.
And away.
Up and away?
And away.
Up and away?
I see what she's
Up,
I see what you're
in.
doing over there,
Up, in.
Up
but
next.
I'm gonna give him a clue. I used to live there.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Up north.
Yeah.
North is correct.
Very good, Steve.
North S. Yeah, this is the one I missed.
Salad. North salad. You ever had a North salad? It's iceberg. It's coming
We don't want to talk about anything coming out of the freezer.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nothing coming out of the freezer.
Nope. We ain't talking about that today.
I had the one that he was head.
North side.
Was that on yesterday's show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
North S T. Gives it away.
Stale.
Gives it away.
Stale.
North S T.
North Star.
North Star. Yeah, the worst engine Cadillac ever made. North Star. Star G.
Gazer. Or geezer, whichever.
Stargate, Star.
Okay. Hey, balance.
I'm waiting to see if they want to tell me the answer.
Oh. Who you want to start? Stargate.
I'll go with
Stargaze?
Stargate.
Starting gate? The star, not star. Star.
Okay.
Stargate.
Stargate?
You've only missed 3.
They told you too.
Gazer.
Not, yeah, Stargaze. Yeah, Stargaze.
That counts.
See what happens when the phone's not.
Yeah.
Rick Morton had
That's
Susan
not
on
your
there.
answer.
Yeah. That was
And it
from
was,
space.
and it was wrong.
Yeah, and that was the wrong answer. Come on, Rick. What the heck? All right, so it's 9:48. How was your turnout yesterday? I heard it was
I
good.
think we had about 170 people
That's great.
for our free Wednesday matinee. Every Wednesday in July, 1 o'clock. Come on down. Escape the heat.
We got stuck watching the Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Did you ever watch that?
I actually came across it yesterday on, what is it, Netflix?
Yeah, but make sure you watch season 1 and 2 first.
Well, I always
If you
do.
start at season 3,
No, I always go back to the
you're
original.
not going to. You're not going.
Not going to get it.
Pain, North Carolina.
Oh,
We'll be on again tonight from your cousins or your sister at a sister's shop. There
So,
we go.
can I push a thing real quick, like? on
Jerry's closest to you. Go ahead.
November 15th, we have the Cavalcade of Stars, Clinton County Talent Show.
That's right, it's on the-
Peters presenting. We have 2 days of auditions coming up. I think our first one is July 17th-ish.
It is. It is the 17th.
17th and
And
also the 24th,
The
21st,
21st maybe?
Thursday,
Anyway.
July the 31st.
31st.
Oh, okay. So
17th and the 31st.
17th and 31st. Go to our website. You can sign up to audition. It takes maybe a 5-minute audition to see if you will make it.
Magicians, singers,
Singers, dancers,
acrobats,
sword swallowers,
Sword swallowers,
No porn.
tightrope walkers, comedians, stand-up comics, sit-down comics, backflippers, gymnasts,
oddities.
Gymnasts.
So and so the talent show itself will be on Saturday, November 15th. So we have 2 sets of auditions. You don't have to come to both; just come to one of them. Call ahead or go to our website. It's going to be an exciting time at Bible.
Poles provided. That JJ told me to say that. He kept saying private.
And don't forget tonight, the community band, 7 o'clock.
No
right
poles
here.
tonight.
The
Better make a flag poles.
$10 to get in tonight for the Prelude to Fireworks, 7 o'clock concert.
$10.
$10. The community band rehearses here all year round. Just about any Tuesday of the year, you'll find them here in the evening. And I know they're always looking for more people interested in participating. I think the band has now grown to about
Tuesdays, I
40 members.
So will they be playing during the fireworks?
Before
on
fireworks.
the 4th, I'm not sure what time they do that.
I think they play at 8:30. 8:30.
So they will be doing the
They
fireworks.
will be. I'll be DJing up until the time they play.
So that's what's going on here.
That's what's happening at
July 11th, Streetcar Named Desire.
How do we get tickets for anything at the Murphy?
Just a roll of the dice, Rick.
Just look it up online.
Go to murphytheater.org, www.themurphytheater, which is an re.org. Don't just type the Murphy Theater and the name of the band. You will be taken to all sorts of other websites.
That'll cost you a lot more
That'll
money.
cost you, we had some people that paid $95 a ticket for a concert this past week. So make sure you go to our website, not Vivid Seats, not Ticketmaster, none of these other ones that claim to be representing us, they do not. So we're working on fixing that.
Coming up with some.
We've got Parrots of the Caribbean on July 19th, Saturday the 19th. The night before, we're doing Pirates of the Caribbean, the Johnny Depp movie. And then the following weekend is Rock the Block with Steven Adler, was he Guns N' Roses?
Yes.
And then Steven, the other
Percy
from
of
Rat.
You're welcome.
So, yes, it's a weekend full of Steves at Rock the Block on the 20th.
But we've got the main Steve right here.
That's right.
We
That's
got the
right.
big Steve. Big,
Big Steve.
Right
I'm
here.
getting bigger too. By the way,
Well, if you eat more donuts,
One more donut.
I'm the fattest I've ever been. I weigh the amount. I went to my cardiologist yesterday, and this is when you know there's a problem. They said your blood pressure. We just don't understand something here. Your blood pressure is so normal for someone who shouldn't be as obese as you.
Oh, that's mad. That's not good.
Like, they said we don't understand why your blood pressure is so normal for as obese as you are. So there you go.
need a new
They
cardiologist.
said that?
Yeah, that's okay. I know
That's
you pretty well.
smacking.
Sounds like
I got one like that. I went to the doctor. Was 6'8" and 430 pounds.
Whoa.
And the first thing he told me is I could lose a little weight.
He said, I'm going to lose 430 pounds right now. Give me another doctor.
And I just look like a weed.
Oh,
Told me I did. And I walk out of the examination room, and he's coming up the hallway, and he's got a plate of freaking donuts heading to his office. And I looked right at him and I said, really?
That years ago, my doctor did my cholesterol check. This was when I was still living in Maine. He said, Steve, you're two donuts away from a heart attack. And
Two
my
donuts?
response to him was, so you're saying I can have a donut?
right.
2 years later, I had a heart attack.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, that's right. You did have a heart attack.
That was almost 8 years ago.
Enough about that.
Did you do eat the second donut?
I ate the second donut.
Now, just to let you know, tomorrow, no show. The DJ service will be in Bland for the car show down there. Blanchester has a big festive day tomorrow. Parade, music uptown, all kinds of vendors and booths set up. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in Blanchester.
Yeah.
Come on down. And then tomorrow we'll be out here at the J.W. Denver Williams Park after Blanchester about 4:30 or so to get started playing music pre-fireworks for the food truck rally. And then Friday we're in Stoutsville, Ohio,
Where is Stoutsville?
just outside of Circleville off 22. go 22 through Circleville. As soon as you pass the fairgrounds, there's a road that goes out to the right, juts out. I think it's called Stoutsville Road. Go about 2 miles down. Beautiful little park, beautiful firehouse, and it's out in the middle of the town's maybe the size of Reeseville. I mean, it's a small town, but it's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
We are closed all weekend.
And you're
This is-
okay with that?
I'm okay with it. Friday and Saturday, I feel like I'm not doing my job, but hey, you know what? There's enough other things going on. Just listen
Right.
to your list.
Yeah, there is. And then, like I said, tonight is Washington Courthouse fireworks starting at 10. You can listen to the simulcast on WVNU 97.9. So a shout out to Nelson, our buddy over there at VNU. And then Campus Nation is going to be Monday and Tuesday at the fair
The fair.
doing
Harness racing.
harness racing. Yeah.
We ought to wake up Wilmington one morning.
And I think,
Well,
you
that's,
said we
well, I'll
could.
get in touch with him, but yeah,
You
what-
wanna
how about-
be in one of the things.
How
with
about-
the-
yeah,
How about Tuesday?
riding around.
Welcome to Wake Up Wilmington.
Yeah. I'm gonna be Charlie the Greek. I'm gonna give the odds on the horses.
Rick, we could do senior day out there Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, yeah.
That's true, because that is this day when seniors get in free.
Free, yeah.
Yeah.
Am I senior?
I don't know if you ever made it that far in high school.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
The way you act, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way you act.
I never really thought about that.
Jerry Keplinger watching. You've been watching my feed today. Why don't you watch somebody else's feed? I've got you on my feed 30 times.
I have no idea.
At least 30 times. 30 times. Let's see, next week
It's the Steve keeps spinning my phone around.
we got Dustin and Molly coming on Monday.
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 That's it right now. The week after, though, we got a couple guests coming in.
You
So,
better get busy, Charlie.
I tell you, it's hard.
Is
Steve
there,
will be in on Tuesday and Thursday.
I think so.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Dustin will be in on Tuesday.
I thought he's Monday.
No, he's Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Dustin and Molly will be in on Tuesday. No, we'll have to have Dustin and Steve on different teams.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Dustin gets a little excited about playing.
It gets
I
good.
was here one time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you were here,
Yeah.
Molly, and yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Molly and I we teamed up against him, and I'm not sure.
Jerry,
who did.
probably.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you guys lost.
Yeah,
Not that I wrote
he's,
it down in my journal.
he's very competitive.
Yeah,
He is very
Dustin and Steve will go at it.
One real quick little story here. Being 4th of July, 1826. John Adams is laying on his deathbed, and so is Thomas Jefferson. And Jefferson,
They're both laying on the same bed.
nope,
No.
miles apart.
Oh,
Same day.
And 1826, 50 years of the date of signing, July 4th, the date of the signing of the Independence, Declaration of Independence. And one thing, John Adams, even though he was much older than Jefferson, always says, "I will outlive Thomas Jefferson."
He was 90.
And Adams, that morning, well, actually afternoon, he passed away, and he said, his last words were, "Thomas Jefferson lives." But unbeknownst to him, Thomas Jefferson actually died that morning, and their couriers passed each other. And John Adams did outlive
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson by a few hours, but they both died 50 years to the date of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
And John was 90. I think Jefferson maybe 86.
Yeah,
for
something like that.
men to last to
That's
be
a
that
long
old
time.
back then, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a long time. My final thought of the day comes from George Washington. The Constitution is the guide which I never will abandon. And folks, that is so true. If you're in leadership positions of any kind, usually you have a handbook or a guidebook. You follow that Constitution, you follow that handbook, you follow that guidebook, and those rules were put there for a purpose,
Yep.
And if you don't follow them, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's
You end up
very
like
simple.
Jerry.
A lot of them will follow the money.
Even if you're a principal of a school, you got that handbook, you do this, you get this. You do that, you get that. Yeah, not everything you think should be that cut and dry, but if you do things like that, you'll be fair.
There's another writing that people follow a little more that probably have a lot easier life too. I think it's called the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a kind of a cool document.
Yeah,
Yes.
can't go wrong.
Hey, can we
And-
thank our friends from Crochet again?
This is JJ. JJ brought it
JJ.
today.
Oh, thank you, JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, JJ. How many donuts you got left over there?
A lot.
I told
Oh, you can take some with you, Steve.
Not for long.
Yeah, you can take some with you.
Steve might want that box, the empty box.
That's Jerry's new girlfriend.
A box of donuts?
No, JJ.
Sure.
Stay away from the long johns.
Okay,
Uncle Punky,
Steve
you
takes
come
us
up
down the
tonight?
rabbit hole.
Yes.
Uncle Punky is coming up tonight to be on our show 5:30 to 6:30 from Fresh Pizza and Cream. He was kind of quiet this morning, but that's okay. He will be loud, annoying, and obnoxious tonight, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jerry,
What's
you
our
coming?
word?
I'm thinking about
The word of the day was stave. We tried to stave Steve off, so what we did.
And stay.
Steve. Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve, can you see?
Just kidding. Anyhow, everybody have a great 4th of July. Please don't come back like this on Monday.
Right.
it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, the whole fireworks.
Watch your fingers. Keep all your flanges. There you go.
All right.
Everybody have a good one.
Bye.
See you.